Alrighty, I've buttoned my shirt up, so this is my best pitch, and this is to the AFL. So we've tried blackmailing you. We've tried using these tactics of exposing how radically fucking barbaric and fucking underdeveloped the majority of AFL players. You know, we've threatened using this display of a local football coach stealing someone's children. That same person having been almost beaten to death by a youth football team in some type of Tasmanian genocide. All masterminded, it seems. I keep finding the same culprit, the AFL, right at the centre of this controversy. It's lucky that, yes, Tasmania is in fact a kingdom, as I spoke about just earlier in a video, that exists in another dimension, so that we're slowly just getting you all ready, and that our taste for horrific retaliation has left us. So we just prefer to make fun of you all until you do exactly as we fucking tell you to do, right? So basically, this is a pitch to the AFL. How are we going to do it? Well, you're not going to make us build a stadium to begin with, okay? We don't want to build a fucking stadium to begin with right now. We don't. I don't like the idea of the stadium. It's a shit spot. The whole thing is retarded. We're putting the horse before the cart, and we will not be led as a fucking kingdom by some shit fucking sports organisation. But what we can do is we can subsidise your electricity. The way we're going to do that is we're going to turn Tasmania into the biggest, largest hydroelectricity factory on planet Earth, right? And we're going to basically put a cable there with a big meter on it. Like a mouse. Doesn't that look like a mouse? Well, it's not a mouse. It's Tasmania. You disrespectful cunts. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to build a fucking huge, basically, it's like this, a big wheel with a fucking cable on it that goes all the way out and back like this. And basically, this here, I'm giving it all away, but that's all right because I've got patent protection because I'm in constant dialogue with my commercialization of my ideas, and I'm in constant dialogue with the Premier and the Prime Minister and the King and all these things. And so I guess this is my patent, right? But basically, the ocean at the bottom of Tasmania consistently goes this way, the ocean and the wind, right? It's called the Roaring 40s, and that's what used to deliver tea to everywhere on clipper ships. How do I know? Well, because that's why my family ended up there, or some of them, because that was the port for clipper ships. That's why Tasmania made a lot of sense because of that. Now it's going to make a whole lot of sense again because of this. It's going to be, we're going to need a lot of workers so they can stop cutting down trees for a minute and they can maybe start building this, and it'll be more interesting and more fun. And basically, this is how it works. There's a giant fucking V-shaped captures that get pulled along with the ocean and the wind. They make the cable go, and then when they get to here, like a ski lift, they then fold back on themselves, and so they shrink down like this. And so this drags it back, and then it goes around, and then once it gets to here, it goes and opens back up again, like a constant conveyor belt, using that constant direction of current and wind, right? All collectively in this like never-ending thing. And then that can run in a tube or a wire up to the AFL. And you can power the MCG with that. So you don't... What's your power bill at the MCG? All right, well, now it's zero. Right? Once we get this going and we get, other customers, so we become a huge part of Victoria's power supply, and then you don't have to fucking put all the things in the mines there, and we don't have to dam any more rivers and doing this because, you know what I mean, it's just out in the fucking ocean. No one's out there in canoes. It doesn't bother the fish. It doesn't do anything. It's just like 1,000 clipper ships taking off, delivering tea. Instead of delivering tea, it's delivering power to Victoria. And then they'll stop trying to kill the Prime Minister and the Premier in Victoria. No, they can let Desi Freeman, I don't know, go home. They can stop pretending that he killed police officers. I don't know. That's I shouldn't have even entered that territory. I don't know whether he did it, but yeah, seems like a great idea. And then we'll build the stadium when we get round to it. Not because the AFL told us to. That's the key point. We're not going to build a fucking stadium because the AFL fucking told us if we don't do it, we don't get to fucking play. If you don't do this, you have to pay. And you have to deal with all the fucking farmers of the entire country basically boycotting the fucking AFL because they're cunts. And they get their power from fucking naughty fucking bullshit fucking wind farms and solar panel farms and all this un-Australian shit being fucking put into fucking regional areas. And that's a thing you sure as hell don't want to fucking deal with, on top of the fact that, as I said, an organised Tasmanian genocide attempt through this person here to destroy the yet-to-be-exposed Kingdom of Tasmania. So everybody jump on board. If you want to invest in Wise Industries or Wise Electricity, Wise, I don't know. You could call it like Wise Hydroelectric Services, something like that. Then get on board. You know, submit your entries now to the Tasmanian government. Of course, as this is a kingdom, it's a bipartisan thing. It's a joint effort between the Labor Party and the Liberal Party. I'm very pissed off with the Labor Party. That's why I can't do anything with them. And they're shit at certain things, but obviously it's going to need to get bipartisan support to get something like this off the ground. And some engineers and some, structural engineers, some people that are going to have to work out all the nooks and crannies. But basically, it's pretty simple. It's like you hook a fucking chairlift to a fucking, an old-time clipper ship. Those clipper ships moved tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of cargo, right? But that was this standalone thing. It's like, this is the same. It doesn't even need to really float. It's completely different engineering. It's actually in the water. It's a huge surface area that basically just grabs all that ocean. There's so much torque behind it that it'll crank, some pretty heavy duty turbines. And then, as I said, as long as we can conveniently engineer and design it to collapse on itself, then then it's easily brought back. And so we have a net positive production of electricity caused by, whatever. And look, there's a million ways we can add to this. I've mentioned, maybe we could put the salmon farms out there. And so then they're not polluting. They're getting dragged through the water. I don't know the intricacies. That's probably way, way, way down the track. But it's an interesting concept for maybe to get some initial investment from people already invested in the salmon farms that, hey, in the future, we might have this. Hey, if we're doing this electricity and we're not logging, then you're kind of getting some credits, some social credits towards the negative press that you've been receiving about your salmon product. And let's look to the future to see maybe an opportunity where we can drag salmon nets out with these things so that we get that potential, excess of nutrient out in the deep depths of the ocean where it's basically all comes out in the wash, in the fucking gigantic 40-foot enormous waves that are never-endingly breaking out there. So let's have a look. If we can run a fucking, fiber optic cable from South Australia to China, we can sure as hell fucking do this. Yeah, it's all the same. It's a land-based nautical hydroelectricity system. It's the same principles as damming a river. I'm not exactly sure why this hasn't been done before. My guess is it's mainly to do, the main reason this hasn't been done before, I guess it would have been assumed. I think it's a material science problem. I think when the hydros were built, And when there was this, this renaissance of hydroelectricity in the form of dams, I think the materials that we didn't have plastic. So if you stuck metal in the ocean to these things, it would have deteriorated. Whereas we can kind of do this with plastic now, which is funny. It's like we have a giant floating patch of plastic because plastic doesn't dissolve in the ocean. So, well, there you go. The problem is there's the solution. And I think that's majoritively what was going on there. It's already a proof of concept. The whole fucking British Empire was built under sail. We moved everything under sail. So this is no different. But within sail, you obviously had to have the load was carried within the ship. So the efficiency ratings to pull a cable, you don't need a ship. It's just all sail. And then there's a balance between the size of the sail and the size of the fluid parachute, right? And then you've got to balance that. So there's a lot of engineering. This is going to be a good project for UTAS if they jump on board. It does create a nautical hazard, but that can be reutilized as security. You know what I mean? If we can push any potential Chinese ships, so if you want to come near Tasmania, you got to fucking go way the fuck out, because otherwise you're going to hit our thing. You're going to hit one of our electrical things. You know what I mean? There's all types of different scientific experiments that could be undertaken if we could get this balanced enough. This is what I do. I don't have all the answers to how we do this. I just have a very heavy suggestion, and I can't for the life of me see why we wouldn't give it a fucking go. We used to give things a real... Tasmania, that was us giving it a go. And it seems pretty good. It's just stalled out. And why is it stalled out? Because we've become human-centric. You know what I mean? Every single little niggle and malfunction and you know, it's whatever is being put to the forefront of what people want. It's like they need all these things, they need to be paid, they need to study fucking dolphin fucking signals. It's like it's this entitled nature, and this is dead simple. So it's the same as the glass. It's like, why isn't Apple computers considering Corning is doing the glass? They make glass, they make rose. Why aren't they using concentrated solar thermal to melt the glass to make iPhones? Because they don't need to. That's why. They're the most likely to do it. And it's like, why isn't anyone from UTAS fucking doing this? Because it's not cool. These large industrial projects have been falsely presented as harmful, yet at the same time, just up north, they're being presented as the answer. And we're actually going back, like running electricity through kilometers of high tensile power and like moving parts in turbines and solar panels that we're not making. And this is really, really backwards thinking compared to when you compare it to a hydroelectric. And thanks Friendly Jordleys for this, like for his explanation of it. It's like, yeah, come on, fuck off. You know what I mean? It's like, and we don't even know. We don't know what could potentially happen within these things. It's a moving wall in the water. It's not going to be moving fast enough to hurt anything. In fact, it might create, more than likely, structure that something will grow on in the negative space on whichever side. Maybe there'll be a harvesting opportunity for mussels or oysters. I don't fucking know. There's too many things. But it's like, this is deep, tumultuous, like maelstrom of ocean that nobody is in, and we're not polluting. And it's going to teach us about 1,000 different things about material strength, about the harnessability of the ocean, and then it turns Tasmania into basically potentially the largest base. It's like that wheel. It's like, how much torque can we build on that wheel? Is it possible to build a cable right around the southern hemisphere with a constant one of these, and we work alongside, say, people in South Africa and people in Cape Town and in Argentina, just to create a constant thing? And it was like, well, what else can we? I've got letter to deliver to Argentina. You just stick it on the fucking cable. You know what I mean? We've gotten to like this. I can speak through. In reality, how are you getting this message? Well, it's going through a cable in the ocean. Now, I think we're hitting saturation of what we can put through this format. It's only it's only likely that we're going to now put things through it. So who knows? All far in the future. This could be so small scale to begin with. It's like there's not a lot going on. It's a wonderful opportunity to see the future of what I think is cable trains in the ocean. And I think this will be the pinnacle. I've already mentioned it. In the future, I'm going to mention it in the past. What? Yeah. In the future, I'm going to mention it in the past. That would have sounded like gobbledygook, except all I'm talking about is that I made a video about it in the past, and it's going to reappear in the future when I redistribute the same pitch of making an ice train, a train of ice blocks that goes to the Middle East. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? We may as well harness these powers that, or continue to. This isn't with the how was Australia built? It was built by the great Southern Ocean, because it was a shipping lane, and who pioneered that? The English did. The British Empire did. They're the real astronauts, in my opinion. I haven't seen much come from this space race. Yeah, I think it's a hijacking of our history. The space race hasn't brought me anything but fucking sorrow in the form of my mother working for NASA. It's like my mother she's not all that bright. She wasn't all that courageous. Nothing in comparison. If we take for what they're saying, yeah, you've gone into space, okay, but how many people have done that, and what type of people are they? These clipper ships were filled with hundreds of men from all different walks of life that were like braving the elements. And it's like we've now got an opportunity to harness those same energies without putting people in danger. Well, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know what it costs to run the MCG or the other Victorian football grounds. Maybe the ones in Adelaide as well. It's just up there, Sydney. Might as well go up to Sydney. So there's a little cable. If we're going to do a cable across the Bass Strait, we may as well send one up to Sydney. I don't know how much electricity we're going to make yet. Let's have a look. See some numbers. That fucking ocean is powerful. It is a moving, constant wall of water. So it makes, putting a little pinwheel on a dam look a bit ridiculous. That pinwheel can only be, how big is it going to be? Whereas this is, even huge caption parachutes out there, not parachute structures, would just be a little dot in comparison. So it's an interesting thought. One that I've been thinking about in all different iterations. There's a couple of other things I'd like to try with this same type of thinking to do with global transportation as well. But hey, if it's all crazy, then just fucking ignore it. But I just don't think it's worth ignoring. This provides jobs for Tasmanians. It provides, harmony once again amongst the Liberals and the Labor Party, and the Greens can go and smoke weed out in the fucking rainforest because there won't be as much logging. Once they've wiped their ass with a few gum leaves, they might even fucking join in. So yeah, I don't know. It's just how I roll. I'm not really one for picking sides and fucking battling. I like to find just a pathway through. And I'd hate for any of this to fucking blip up into the public knowledge that's a potential child sexual predator providing pornographic fucking interface to stolen hostage children, and then coaching other people's children, a bigoted, homophobic, transphobic, fucking degenerate alcoholic is being held up above, someone who's being pretty innovative and quite courageous, I would say, as well, and who is a victim of a savage beating by a suburban AFL team that was swept under the rug, perhaps linked up to some type of Labor Party union fucking aggression towards me wearing the wrong fucking shoes 10 years ago at a fucking hospital that's now degraded into a monstrous fucking distribution hellscape that is being exposed daily for the humanitarian disgraceful acts that are taking place in its halls, not to mention the subpar glazing and engineering that's gone on because of a constant attempt to destroy local manufacturing and outsource it to China and degrade local skill sets and long-standing trades into basically factory positions in order to disadvantage the Australian people and prepare us to be willing participants of a Chinese invasion. I think that's all fucking shit, and I don't want that to land in the AFL's lap. No matter how many fucking Snoop Dogg concerts you have, that's not going to wash away all that fucking blood and all that fucking sorrow from the Australian people. And so I think that this is a deal that you should absolutely do. I think you take that bill that you pay in electricity, and I think you think about the long-term fucking marketplace, the long-term projections, the long-term vision for what the AFL is before you turn into Blockbuster Video and we all start playing soccer. Because I'll happily do that. As I said, Tasmania is the 8th kingdom of England. So I'll happily go to Manchester United. I'll happily go to Liverpool, MC, Tottenham, Hotspurs, whatever, Brazil, even the international, that's a far better thing. And now that we are connected to Argentina and South Africa and, a gateway for global commerce and distribution, I'd say that the world game is perhaps a better place to be pitching this to. And so, if the AFL doesn't want to lose relevancy in the global marketplace that is quickly forgetting about it, a bit like Snoop Dogg, then I would suggest you take that power bill, you imagine what life would be like without it, and you just give us a little bit of fucking breathing room for us building our stadium when we have quite wonderful stadiums already. Once we get these fucking hideous brands off them, maybe we can send that message up to the AFL. Why are you playing in these? Who are you to say that we have to build a stadium when you are playing stadiums with some of the most monstrous corporate fucking entities like Optus? It's just fucking killed how many people across Australia? What's Marvel Stadium? What the fuck's that about? Marvel? What? Who are you to fucking say? Who is one brand, which is the AFL? You don't control Australian rules football. You're just some fucking corporate monstrosity that fucking likes to fucking, you know what I mean, play in stadiums with big brand names on the side of them. It's called the fucking MCG. It's called the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Yeah? It wasn't called the fucking Toys R Us fucking Jeffrey Epstein Appreciation Society. So yeah, get your balls in order, you fucking cocksuckers, all right? You listen to what I'm saying, you do exactly as you're fucking told, all right? Otherwise, we just forget about AFL. We expose all the fucking dirty laundry and the skeletons and all the fucking closets, and we fucking drown this fucking game in the fucking middle of the fucking Southern Ocean. We fucking keelhaul every fucking nonce that fucking has ever donned a fucking jersey for whatever fucking Victorian scum team that's ever fucking existed. Or you do the fucking deal and we get on with the fucking game. Cunts. Yeah, we're going to come up the fucking midfield. He's going to suck his fucking cock and pull his fucking G-string up his ass. And then they're all going to fucking prance around with 3 fucking goals at one end, 3 fucking goals at the other end. You kick it to him. You kick it to him. You fucking dance around in fucking circles. You be racist and you beat fucking women. Woo! Yeah. It's up to you. Up to you, end of the fucking day. That's Yoda. Say hello to Yoda, you cunts. I'm going to give you 5 words to the AFL. This is the AFL's 5 words that it can ponder on next time it thinks of putting up some type of fucking ultimatum to the Kingdom of Tasmania. Polis, a word, element meaning city, as in metropolis. The mother city. Ooh, the mother city. I like that. There's the motherland, but this is the mother city. Because this is a mother in front of you. Remember? Funny bone. Doesn't that sting? Doesn't it sting when you hit your funny bone, you cocksuckers? Secure. We are going to secure this deal, or we are going to, as I said, drown you in the Southern Ocean. No one's ever... Oh, they all just fell overboard. It was a tragedy. It was one of the many tragedies at sea that shall never be explained, and no one shall ever know. We shall build a monument to the AFL, and we will peacefully let it go into the annals of history, a bit like every AFL player has gone into the annals of their teammates for hundreds and hundreds of years, despite only allowing one bisexual man to kind of say he was perhaps a poofter. Perennium. Perennium. The urogenital triangle in front of the anus, which is bound by the rami of the pubis, including the vulva or the roots of the penis, the diamond-shaped area corresponding to the outlet of the pelvis containing the anus and vulva or the root of the cock, which will be right down fucking Sam Newman's fucking throat if he doesn't do exactly as he's fucking told. Last word. Is it the last word? Let's have a go. Harass. I am indeed harassing the AFL because more than likely abuse from the AFL has led for me to be an absolute psychotic fucking genius lunatic. And so I'm giving it back. Yeah, I'm giving it back. I didn't play AFL. I played field hockey and I played cricket. And every time the cricket team said, Shants, you should play fucking AFL. It's really fun. I would be like, no, I don't want to play AFL. It looks gay as fuck. It looks gay as fuck. That's what I said. So I'm harassing the AFL until they do exactly as they're fucking told. And let's see. Let's see if Australia has balls or whether it bends down and takes it in the fucking ass and turns itself into some type of fucking league of their own, fucking wanky, fucking bullshit, fucking corporate, fucking whingy, fucking Nancy bullshitting, fucking cocksucking corporate fucking monstrosity. We'll just play at Bellerive. Or we'll play it, I don't even know, wherever the fucking other oval is until we build the stadium. And until then, you will get free electricity credits or something like that. And you get to put it on your fucking website. We made an even better deal with Tasmania, with the Kingdom of Tasmania. not the state. Okay, with the Kingdom of Tasmania. No one needs to know that you made this deal with the Kingdom of Tasmania except the AFL and the Kingdom of Tasmania. But it will work out far better in the long run. Down the road, we will all laugh about this, and the world will know that Australia may play as hard as you possibly can on the field, but at the end of the day, we're all fucking teammates and we get on and do the job. Hoorah. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie, oi. Aussie.